Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host superchill Orion, and it's been quite a long time since I turned on the camera and talked about an album. So today marks the 30th anniversary of Jar of Flies by Alice in Chains. I also want to talk about there is another album that is celebrating its 30th anniversary. Whiskey for the Holy Ghost by Mark Lanigan. I missed out on making a video about that album. That album is phenomenal as well. There is so many albums that were released back in 1994. I can name you millions of them. But I am not going to do that. I just want to talk about Alice in Chains today. This is a landmark of an album of the grunge era. There is a lot of grunge albums that were released in this time frame from 1991 to 1995. Everything else is, butt rock coming in, Nickelback, Creed, blah blah blah. We're not going to talk about that. We're talking about the landmark, Alice in Chains. I talked about Nirvana quite a lot of times on the channel. Soundgarden as well. Mark Lanigan, I have not talked about at all, and Alice in Chains, I have not talked about very rarely. Absolutely no Alice in Chains mention on the channel I know of. You can go back to so many videos. I probably hinted at them once or twice, but I've never talked about them on the channel as a standalone video. But when it comes to albums, this album is my favorite Alice in Chains album. When it comes to songs that just hit you hard, you have Nutshell, Rotten Apple. My personal favorite of Alice in Chains is acoustic sound, but this album isn't really acoustic the whole way through. Rotten Apple is not acoustic. It has this amazing talk box solo. Guitar is just mind-melting, to say the least, to anyone that has never heard of Alice in Chains. You have to show them Rotten Apple. Everybody goes to Nutshell. That's the first song everybody goes to on any Alice in Chains compilation piece. It's always Nutshell, Rooster, or Them Bones. Then you got songs like Down in the Hole and stuff like that as well, but when it comes to Alice in Chains, I always think of one song, Rotten Apple. Now, Rotten Apple melts you with the incredible talk box from Jerry Cantrell, which the talk box goes back to the 70s, not the 50s, the 70s, with Peter Frampton's Show Me the Way. Now, I don't know if that is the first time the talk box was used, but that is a landmark of where the talk box originated. In my opinion, of course, Peter Frampton being incredible. You have Nutshell, I just talked about that. I Stay Away, which is a 12-string guitar masterpiece. No Excuses, Whale and the Wasp, Don't Follow, and Swing on This. Now, I want to talk about Don't Follow, because this is my other favorite Alice in Chains song I could put in the top 5. Now, I'm doing this raw, guys. Don't Follow is an acoustic masterpiece. This lands Alice in Chains in more of a country sound and a western kind of vibe. It's very dark, it's very mellow, and this is where Alice in Chains is the grunge band definition of grunge. In my opinion, of course, you have Soundgarden, you have Nirvana, you have every other grunge band that I can't think off the top of my head right now. To come to mind, you have Coffin Break, Tad, Alcohol, Funny Car, those are three bands that you probably have never heard of, besides from Tad. They collabed with Nirvana on a tour, but to say the least, those bands are not very known as Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, whatever, and Mark Lanigan isn't very well known either. But when it comes to Alice in Chains, my top 5, it's Rotten Apple, Died, Them Bones, Don't Follow, and Shame in You. Now, Shame in You, I was a latecomer to Shame in You. And Shame in You, we're going to talk about that album in a little bit in a future video. We're going to do an anniversary video for that one as well. The self-titled, or Tripod for short. Everybody knows it. Shame in You was just an absolutely, this is how I'm feeling right now. And every single time I listen to Alice in Chains, every single time, I'm saying it, every single time, it correlates to how I'm feeling about myself, and it makes me feel better. And I always want to recreate a sound that they make. And this goes for any grunge band, because grunge is my my first influence when it comes to me for music. And you could tell by the second one, it's electronic music, because I did a couple of electronic videos of my favorite electronic bands and stuff. I haven't uploaded too many of those in a while, but electronic music correlates to the grunge for me, and it puts it into my music, and I create something with that. But this album is a masterpiece, and it always will be a masterpiece. This goes for every Alice in Chains album. I love Willem Dafoe. A lot of people don't, but Willem Dafoe carries the band, and Jerry has always been amazing. He's an amazing songwriter, and Jerry keeps the spirit of Lane alive, even though he was there before Lane, I think. He founded the band and blah blah blah. But Lane, we miss you. Everyone misses you, and we still hold this album to be one of the best albums, or EPs, ever recorded in American music history. Or music in general, really. But this is Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies. I hope you are all staying super chill. Listen to Alice in Chains today, and hopefully some Mark Lanigan too, because Whiskey of the Holy Ghost. Now that is an album I need to get, and The Winding Sheet, of course. But we're going to talk about Mark Lanigan and other musicians in a future video, so stay tuned. I will be back very shortly with the 9th anniversary of the YouTube channel in February. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week, or whenever that is, and I hope you're all staying super chill. It's very Alice in Chains today.